in the 911 RSR. Time is a 1:48.3. Best beat my time by around 3/10. Back from me is 48.7. These cars are all surrounding me in the GTR, so I am going to be tailed to the first corner. Hopefully going to get around it in one piece. I'm going to have to hug the inside line if I want a smooth exit. You can already just have a little guess of what it's going to be like down here when we get down there. So, move down here. Oh, we've got a brake out here. He overshot it by a mile. I think I overcooked it a little bit, but for the most part it got around the corner. Yeah. Alright, cool. Hopefully a clean race. It will be good if we just get out without dying first corner. That is the main goal. If we can do that, then there's a possibility we'll live. These GTRs, and if you don't know, these things are very fast in a straight line. They'll come after you. There's two more behind me. The Porsche's a very unpopular pick for this track, but I thought why not? Probably could have gotten the win by now with one of those GTRs, but we will stick with the Porsche for now. So what we're going to have to do, hug the inside line. Well, first of all, we're going to have to try and get into this guy's toe. It looks like we're actually gaining on him, but not behind. We're going to have to go straight this way. And we're going to have to brake it about that. And that is the shit I'm talking about. And that is us successfully through to first position. Somehow we're gonna grab the inside lane for this corner, brake it about here, and he overcooked it. I think maybe he bumped into me, but I'm feeling contact. We're out. That's cool. We've got no toe. 3 seconds to go. Pretty comfortable already. So the main objective for the rest of the race is to just not fuck it up, which I'm pretty good at doing, as you'll see later in the video maybe. Most likely, as I cook it wide. And show you my first examples of how I can fuck it up so easily. But other than that, we head down to the last corner to complete the first lap of the race. You can already see the gaining on me in the top left of your screen, on my screen. You can see the time slightly diminishing, and that will always happen on the straights. There is no getting out of that. Assuming the guy behind me is in a GTR, he will always be faster than me down the straights, no matter what. That car is just too beastly of a machine not to. However, when it comes to the corners, that's where my Porsche can fly. You want to slow it down about here, catch this curve, use a little bit of gas, use that sausage curve a little bit, not too much, catch the curve and exit. And the gap is out to 3.6 second. Perfect apex is just there. And that car made an accident just then, and the gap is going to go out even further. So that helps us. gonna set the first proper time of the race, and what's it gonna be? I'd say it'd be somewhere in the 49s. 51. Someone's probably gonna beat that. I'd imagine so. Gap is out to 7 seconds. What are they doing? Alright, we head down for the next corner. Braking a little bit late that time. May have used too much corner there, I don't know. It's all good though. If we cop a penalty there, it would only be around half a second. And it doesn't hurt your time too much going up through here. Up again to the back end of the track. Down just after you pass the sign, about there. Turn it in very nice and smooth. Change it to third, catch the car and drive it over there and sit on the curb. That is how you take the corner nice and cleanly through with the Porsche, and as you can see that gap is only extending. Very cool. We're going to head down to this last corner right here, brake just over the 100. And then I like to accelerate when you get to that orange little fence thing. As we head into the next lap, this is going to break the previous record. And it's going to be a 49.8. Pretty much a 49.9. 10 seconds the gap, absolutely crazy. Slow it down again. Oh. Gas on the way out. You don't want to get on the gas too quickly because these cars can spin around quite easily if you're not careful. Especially if you don't have your traction control on, which I'm not running. Catch the curb and exit, like always. You want to brake just after the 50-meter board. It unsettles the car a little bit, so I'm not 100% keen on that corner yet. Now it looks like the 50-meter board has been hit in an incident, so we're just going to have to use our imagination on where it should be placed and just go with that. Coming up on the next corner now, remember just brake after here. Coming through it. Kind of lose a bit of speed going through here and then you power out. Not the cleanest exit out of Ascari, but that is how you kind of take the corner. Someone has set a faster lap, it's an Australian. Set a 49.2. It's a good lap. But he is all the way in 6th position, so he's got a bit of climbing to do if he wants to try and catch up to us. The guys that are in the front right now seem to be struggling. And he's taking his pit stop. I didn't see who that was. I think it might have been 2nd or 3rd. So you don't cop a 20-second time penalty. Because that is the penalty if you don't pit and change tyre compounds. So anyways, 13 seconds out, so it shouldn't worry too much. I don't know if that's the proper time because someone has pitted and that is an error from me. So that will lose around a second. Little incidences like that you want to really try and prevent. Just you gotta realize when you're up at this point that you don't need to drive it to its fullest potential, but you don't want to undercook it and start losing a chunky amount of time. So sometimes it's best to just let the drivers be as fast as they can be, even though it looks a little bit scary. It is, but you know, it's better than going too slow, underthinking how some corners should go, and I gotta remember now to start braking a bit earlier too, because my tyres are starting to take effect to tyre wear. So we're gonna do one more lap after this and pit in at the end of lap 7. We are currently 14 seconds away from second place. We're going to take the corner here now. This is a bit further back than what I usually take it. If you ever catch yourself in a spin, just accelerate out and turn the other way. Should work fine. Just run it up through here on the inside. You wanna try and get as much time as you can. Every tenth counts in a racing game. Good exit there. Bit slidey on the exit though, on the exit of the curb. So we're going to do one more lap after this one, and then we're going to put it in for a pit stop. Switch to the hard compound and hopefully get the 2 more laps done and then race victory. And then we come up here, brake about there, we'll miss the apex again by just a tiny bit, about half a meter again. Time back to second is 18 seconds, but we're pitting in this lap and I don't think he's taken his pit stop, so we'll see how things pan out. This has been a good last lap. You know, minimal errors, that's what you want when you're coming on in your in lap or your out lap. Very good. Make sure you get the most usage out of the tyres of what they have left in them. Especially if you're behind first place and you're trying to catch up to them, you really want to make your out lap as fast as you can. Coming into pit, switch to the hard compound, don't need to refuel because there is enough fuel to last us to the end of the race. Out we go. So, one thing you can misjudge coming out of the pit lane is how close you need to brake to turn 1. So, I'm going to just be a bit on the safe side here and brake a little bit earlier than what I maybe should have. But we do have this massive gap, so there isn't much to be afraid of. Gap should come down to about 9 seconds maybe, I don't know. I don't know how far back they were before we pitted. Alright, so on lap 8, our times looking pretty consecutive there, laps 4 to 6 before we entered the pit. Even lap 3 and 2 are pretty consecutive as well. So, I'd say my driving's been pretty good this race. For my potential anyways. I'm not the best driver in the world. Absolutely not. I suck. But I've somehow gotten lucky at the start of the race, and that's what it sometimes comes down to, is the very start of the race, which is why the start's always so crucial. But at the same time, you don't want to risk too much into the first corner. So you want to try and get the best way. You want to try and get out of turn 1 and 2 alive, especially in Monza, because Monza just has such, like, most of the track is just these long straights that I'm on right now, and you can't really catch up on these long straights unless you're slipstreaming someone. And unless you don't have someone to slipstream and you're just buried out there, then you don't really have hope of catching up to the opponent again. So you just gotta make sure that you get through turn 1 safely, even if that does mean losing a couple positions, because in the long run it will help out. Fortunately in this scenario, however, we went to the inside, we braked a little bit before the corner, we got a perfect way of getting into the corner. Some guy on our outside was unfortunately just shoved wide, completely wide, someone misjudged the braking zone, probably didn't see his braking marker or something behind the other cars. And then I think first place had a bit of a spin or something, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm gonna come through here now. Perfect corner. We come up to the last lap of the race. On a 54. Very good laps throughout the race. We're going to try and make this one extra fast, I guess. Got to power out on those curbs there, get the most power you can. Hug this corner right here. You don't want to stay on the outside, you're going to lose a couple temps doing that. So hug that inside wall. And then you're going to brake just after that little concrete on the road I always seem to notice. And then you come out perfectly fine. Brake just after the turning point. Might have been a bit late there on the turning. And also might have been a bit early on the brakes there. Come out through up the main street. Looks like everyone's done very well this race to manage their position. No one's had a big accident and fallen right back. I've not had to lap anyone, which is very fortunate. Come out of Ascari for the last time, which is what that corner's name is, by the way. And then on a 17-second gap. Oh my. We're going to come out with the victory in the Porsche. Let's go. Good race. It was kinda boring, I guess, because we didn't have much fight. That guy got a 20-second time penalty because he did not switch tyres, so did he. Yeah, a lot of people still don't know, which is quite unfortunate. As they go right to the back of the pack. Gosh, they were up at 4th and 5th, they've gone to 11th and 14th, 13th. Jeez. It's Kiwi, Australian, Japanese, Australia, Japan, Australia, Japan, Australia, South Korea, Japan, 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 Australia, New Zealand. I don't know that country, sorry. Japan, Australia, Japan, don't know that country, sorry. And then Japan. More 20-second time penalties. And that is a victory. Which is epic. Very clean race at Monza. Very cool.